Hi guys, I'm Kim and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse escape, get free, and stay free. Today I want to talk a little bit about flying monkeys, and if you are a victim of narcissistic abuse, you yourself may have been groomed as a flying monkey, as I most certainly was. Now, as the narcissist moves from victim to victim to victim throughout their lifetime, the one thing they don't want to happen is they do not want exes being in touch with each other. Now, this would create an opportunity for information, to be spread, and people would catch on, obviously, much quicker. So it's very, very common, if you are main supply, that you have a very strained or no relationship at all with the exes, and the next victim coming up after you will never have any access to you, as you didn't have any access to the one before. And if you did have access, there's quite often a whole lot of conflict going on right from the get-go. Just to give you kind of an idea of what that looked like in my life. Now, Trevor had an ex-wife. Her name was Danielle. Apparently, she was just one of the craziest bitches that had ever walked the face of the earth. Now, she had one child with Trevor and a child from a previous relationship. Now, I understood that she was just a lunatic. I mean, an absolute lunatic. So what I believed he was doing was trying to protect me from her, is what I had initially thought. Okay, so I'm not on to Trevor at all at this point, and his two little kids were being dropped off by Danielle at our house. Now, I had been warned over and over and over again how crazy she is, but she's on her way, so I want to, get some lip gloss on and put my best foot forward, because I'd like to meet her, because, of course, her children are going to be in my care, and this woman doesn't know me from a hole in the ground. Now, I've got kids myself, and I'd be uncomfortable dropping my kids off with a stranger. So I thought, great, when Danielle shows up, I'll introduce myself, see if she wants to come in for a coffee. If she has any concerns about leaving the kids with me, well, at least she'll get to know me. I can give her my cell phone number. She can be introduced, to me firsthand, and maybe less worries about dropping her kids off. What anybody would do. So there I am, all ready to greet the children and introduce myself, and who I assume is Danielle, pops out of the car and starts screaming. I mean screaming, snot and spit flying, and she's completely tattooed everywhere. She's almost got a shaved head. I'd seen her wedding pictures, and she didn't look like that anymore, and I'm thinking, holy fuck, the movie Taxi Driver. And she is screaming in front of our house at the top of her lungs on a sunny day with neighbors out everywhere. And she is screaming over and over and over again at me, slut monkey. Now, I don't know what a slut monkey is, so I'm kind of like, is she talking to me? What the fuck is going on here? And she's up over the hood of the car, and she's like swinging her arms, and she is screaming over and over again, slut monkey. So I think to myself, holy fuck, Trevor wasn't kidding. She's nuts as can be. Now, the two little girls, at the sight of their mother, are absolutely frozen, paralyzed in fear on the sidewalk. I'm up on the porch, paralyzed in fear, not really sure what's going on, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is a slut monkey? Like, I don't even know what's happening. Meanwhile, from the kitchen, I can hear Trevor's voice saying, I told you she was crazy. I told you she was crazy. Now, what had actually happened, of course, as I find out down the road, Trevor, of course, had gone to Danielle, or called her, texted her, what a lying, cheating piece of shit I am. And, now she's dropping her kids off with me. I've been told she's a complete maniac. And so instant conflict, right? Instant conflict. Now, of course, Danielle, believing I'm a lying maniac, is now launching lawsuit after lawsuit against Trevor. Now, I'm a fairly intelligent person, and anyways, Trevor didn't want to pay for a lawyer, so I did my research, and for all the accusations she made to terminate child custody or child visitations and things with him, you know, I did my research, and I'll tell you, I had my ducks in a row, and I went into court representing Trevor and had gathered quite a bit of information about Danielle, and I'm telling you, as I won premium flying monkey that day, not only did I slam dunk her in court, I slam dunked her lawyer, had his visitation increased, and rubbed her fucking nose in it. I mean, a good one. And there was another one, and her name was Tammy. Holy mother of God. Oh, Jesus. Same thing. Telling her I'm nuts, telling me she's nuts and she's dangerous and she's drug addicted and her kids are with the social services and she's a crackhead and you got to stay away from her. So I'm afraid of these two women. The one I've seen is acting exactly as he said she would. Now, had I had a better relationship with his mother, who was fairly forthright when given an opportunity to be, I would have found out, you know, that those women, yes, they might be nuts today, but they were driven nuts. They were absolutely driven nuts by their relationship with this fucking freak. But he did the same thing to me and his mother. He would keep coming to me saying, my mother hates your fucking guts. And I said to him, well, that's weird. Why would your mother hate my guts? I've done nothing but be a loyal, honorable daughter-in-law to her. Why would she hate my guts? And then, of course, he's going back to his mom, telling her that I'm crazy, I'm bipolar, I'm a liar, I'm cheating on him. Oh, my fucking God. So the one person who could have given me some clarity on what had actually happened with the other two, oh, and there was many more, but it was his mother. And, of course, he'd driven a wedge between that relationship, too. So at all times, they're just blocking contact and creating these conflicts so you never can get together, exchange stories, and find out the truth. Now, at one point, Danielle had made an allegation claiming that Trevor had sexually assaulted the two little girls. Now, Danielle at this point was completely rocked. She was acting extremely crazy, and I have no doubt driven mad by him. But I bounced that out of court in such a way that at that point I probably could have taken full custody of her children from her and had her on supervised visitation. She had absolutely been displaying signs of a complete lunatic, and the courts were getting fed up with her. Of course, I was very calm, very collected. All my ducks were in a row. I had that accusation immediately dismissed and had her looking like just a bitter, crazy lunatic, probably unfit to be taking care of her own children. Now, a little bit down the road, I hear in one of Tammy's bizarre phone calls that she made to me, because she was completely out of her mind at this point too, that Trevor had suggested to her that he had some pedophiliac type intentions towards the children. Now, guys, it's sad enough to realize that you have been a well-groomed flying monkey. It's something else altogether when you are quite likely, and by you I mean me, the force behind getting increased visitations for someone who maybe should not be allowed within 100 miles of those children. The sorrow that I have experienced as a result of the role I played in getting their child support either eliminated or gravely reduced, visitations increased when maybe there should have been none, humiliating these women in court. And I'll tell you, I kicked a field goal many times with not just them, with their legal team. So, yeah. Tremendous amount of guilt and shame surrounding that. But this is the game the narcissist plays. The narcissist needs everybody confused, everybody in conflict, so no one's talking to each other. And of course, the only person who could have clarified any of this was his mother, and he had driven a wedge between his mother and all of us. So it was a very, very bad situation, and I have a tremendous amount of guilt and shame for the flying monkey I was. Now, with what I know today, and wow, it's black and white compared to what I knew back then, I would have to say, for the new victim or for the main source of supply, it's a very slippery slope, you know, reaching out to an ex or, you know, leaving and then trying to contact the new victim to warn them, because they're in the process, you know, either they've been extremely traumatized already, or they're in the victim, or now the new victim being, you know, idealized and love bombed, and maybe the devaluation has already begun. I mean, you don't know what people's mental state's going to be or where they're kind of at in that whole process. You know, I've heard of victims reaching out to the ex, or once you've moved on, trying to contact the new victim. And next thing you know, police are at their door. They're being charged with harassment. I mean, it's such a slippery slope. The way the narcissist sets this up, it's almost impenetrable. I mean, it makes contact almost impossible. Therefore, there's a whole lot of misinformation going on and a whole lot of people getting hurt unnecessarily. Now, I don't know if either of those women will ever see this video, but ladies, if you do, I am truly and deeply, sincerely sorry, right to the bottom of my heart. And for victims and survivors, grooming us to be flying monkeys is part of the game, unfortunately. And all that conflict that's kind of brewing under the surface, all of that is very, very intentional. When you are told that the ex was crazy, she might well be, or he might well be, but that is very likely because they were driven that way as you were driven that way. It's just a horrible situation, and decent, kind people being pitted against each other, you know, like fighting dogs. It was just absolutely horrendous. But the truth of the matter is, I truly believed that I was protecting him from evil. Okay. Meanwhile, never in the history of my life have I ever met anyone as sick, twisted, deranged, fucked in the head. There is no greater evil than that man. And ladies, I am so sorry. Okay, guys, you got to be real careful when you're feeling like you're doing them a favor. You may actually be inflicting harm on someone else. Guys, thank you very much for watching Kim Wilson TV. I'm Kim. Peace be with you.